We've seen that salt adds flavor. You are the salt, you are the spice, you're the seasoning. We've seen that salt actually retards or holds back decay. Today, let's just look real briefly at the idea that salt purifies. That if you think about this, germs don't exist in the ocean very well, or certain kinds of germs don't because of the high salt content. That salt purifies, has a purifying kind of a dynamic with that. Now, how does that work with you and I in other people's lives and in even in our own lives? When we're talking about salt purifying, we're talking about bringing in necessary wisdom and understanding and truth that brings a purification in the process. So here's an example. So a brother or sister, comes and they just are starting to vent, and they're seething, and they're stewing in their own juices. They're nursing a grudge. They're furious, and they're ready to do something that is do or say something that's actually just not smart. It's not wise. It's not God. It's in the flesh. They're in the flesh. And I find this a lot in the political arena, by the way. But with that said, I think that it's important then for us as a purifying agent to be able to say to that person, to be able to say, do you think you got some bitterness and resentment going on in that? I'm hearing that. Can you see that? That you're stewing in your own juices, and this isn't producing anything good. And if you actually kind of go with that, it's not going to create anything good. And so we challenge with love and with mercy, with truth, with understanding, with wisdom, that we bring the purifying truth of God to bear in a generous and beautiful way. And as we do, as we bring that in, and we help people to move from the place of bitterness, resentment, and unforgiveness to the place of truth and forgiveness and mercy, that we have brought God's purity, God's shalom, God's restoration into that person, and we have become, and we are the salt, God's purifying agents.